Welcome back to the channel, Guardians. Back to business. This build is absolutely incredible. It's helped me beat endgame content such as Master Raid challenges, solo Master Lost Sectors flawlessly, amongst other achievements, and it has got me through 3 GM Nightfalls. It's an infinite strand grapple build that makes you literally unkillable. You will always have sources of grapple energy, whilst always having woven mail procced whilst in combat. Blood, sweat and tears go into the making of my videos, so if you do find this informative, drop a like on it. Let's jump in. We will start with the basics of this build first, starting with the obvious one, Grapple. The Grapple melee is the key part of this build. Pairing this with the only current Hunter aspects available, in particular Widow Silk, you gain 2 charges of Grapple, and your Grapple leaves a point as long as it's not directed at a combatant. Then you want to spec into Discipline and Resilience, and if you have some numbers to spare, Mobility. Now the exotic to pair with this setup, at first I thought this would only be useful in PvP. Oh boy, I was very wrong. The Facade. Yes, I'm not going to attempt to say the whole name, so yeah. Grants woven mail when using grapple for 10 seconds, whilst passively granting you flinch resistance. Woven mail is godly. It dramatically increases your damage resistance against all enemy types in the hardest of content. It is an essential survivability exotic and absolutely S tier for you hunter lovers out there thinking of using a grapple build. So that's the basics of this build, but the real interesting bits start here. Fragments wise, continuity increases the duration of your debuff effects, such as Unravel and Suspend. Your slam ability will suspend targets, whilst other parts of this build, which we will see further on in the video, also suspend targets, effectively giving you anti-barrier and unstoppable abilities. Wisdom will generate orbs on precision kills on suspended targets also, and pairing this with warding will grant woven mail on orb pickup. This build will generate a lot of orbs for you and your fire team thanks to armor mods, more of that to come. Finally, for the fragments, Thread of Generation, an absolute must for this build, will give you grenade energy for simply damaging targets. This fragment is so free, people. I thought there was a typo or a missing word in its description, but no, simply damaging targets in any way grants grapple energy. So not only does your grapple grant woven mail, orb pickup also grants it, whilst you effectively have infinite ways of regenerating grapple energy. Let's jump over to those armor mods to give this build even more juice. But just as an FYI, grapple melee kills actually count as grenade and melee kills. With that bit of info, Ashes to Assets will grant super energy on grapple melee kill, while Strand Siphon will allow strand weapons to spawn orbs also, more weapons to come. Firepower and heavy-handed, when getting a grapple melee kill, will spawn 2 orbs of power instead of 1. Innovation mods, when getting your grapple kills and spawning orbs, will also grant grenade energy, but to increase survivability, recuperation will make you unkillable. Picking up those orbs will replenish your health whilst having woven mail active at the same time. To reiterate, the survivability of this build is absolutely incredible. This is obviously a close quarters build and you may be thinking it's risky. Trust me, try this out. Me and an LFG managed a 2-man Brachion on Legend difficulty whilst I was using this. We have reached the midway point of this video. Are you still with me? Great. Before we look at weapons and seasonal perks, slap that like button if you are finding this informative and subscribe for future content. We are close to eligibility for the YouTube partner program. Help me reach that goal. Weapons time. You obviously want a weapon that will regenerate your grenade. Perks like Demolitionist or Wellspring go well. A bonus if it's a strand weapon. My pick is Perpetualis. Depending on when you are watching this video, auto rifles are due a damage buff and it will make this weapon insanely strong. Strand weapons are very strong this season thanks to seasonal perks, and this is no exception. SMGs are good and all, but autos have that little bit more range to allow you to engage targets at mid-range. The gun itself has so many good roles for PvE. Mine has Demolitionist to help get my grapple back on kill. As you'll be fighting at close quarters, rapid fire shotties can do some work. The new Neomona shotty ticks those boxes. Basso ostinato. Void weapons have better chances at spawning heavy ammo this season, and whilst the role I'm using isn't necessarily great, it still gets the job done on yellow bars and champions. Finally, for DPS, Leviathan's Breath, it's so slept on, it recently got buffed again, and now dealing 50% more damage to champions and making combatants volatile. It can 2-shot Unstoppables in Master if the Void Surge modifier is active also, and does a lot of damage now. This entire build is available at any time, meaning you can use this outside of the current season, being Season 20. For the remainder of this video, you will need the following artifact perks active to make this build even more insane. With the weapon perks, it allows auto rifles to inherit overload rounds, meaning Perpetualis can stun overload champions, allowing this build to have counters to all 3 champion types. For the third column, Untangler will suspend targets when destroying tangles with Perpetualis, giving you another add control effect and anti-champion ability. Talking of anti-champion abilities, Volatile Flow will allow your Void Shotty to go to town on barrier champions, whilst having volatile rounds procced on all pickup. The fourth column gives us bricks from beyond, hence why there is a void aspect to the weapons you'll be using, effectively granting heavy ammo for each free void weapon kills you get on yellow bar enemies. Allied Unraveling, which gives perpetualis and unraveling rounds on 3 rapid perpetualis kills. From playing on Master you won't proc this much, but with the upcoming buff to the weapon archetype, it may be more viable to proc. And Counter Weave will grant you energy for your least charge ability when you or another fireteam member stuns a champion. The only perk you need for the fifth column is Threaded Blast, which increases the explosive radius of your popped tangles. Throw this all together and you have a build capable of tackling endgame content. I have used this in 3 different Grandmaster Nightfalls and cleared with no fuss whatsoever. That's it folks, I am maining this build for the season as it's so powerful. If you found this informative, drop that like button a slap and subscribe for future content. Next up, I will convince you to get your hands on this absolutely insane Raid Exotic Shotty. I got it on my second clear, funny enough. Yes, I know, content creator perks and all. Extended gameplay to come of the build we just saw in action. This was Plasma Alchemist, your viewership is much appreciated. Until next time, see ya later.
Has done some redecorating, although I don't think I can call this an upgrade in terms of taste, but...
Forever, Guardian!